Not so very long ago, when it came to technology purchasing, IT was king. You had the one department that had the purchasing authority, that had the power, that had the budgets. And often, if you managed to find the one guy, the IT guy, as a marketer, you were sorted, you were golden. But I'm sure you all realize that this situation has changed completely today. Instead, we're facing a cross-functional committee. Technology infuses a business from top to bottom. So you have a mix of departments, each with their own budget, each with their own purchasing authority, and each with their own influence in how that purchasing is undertaken in technology. But really, this is where the crux of the information comes through. We asked respondents in the survey to rank the importance of different functions in the IT purchasing process. Importance means whether they lead different stages, whether they are the final decision maker in a stage, or whether they are perceived to be the most important influencer. So, let's get started. Here we have the Tier 1 audiences. These are the functional groups that were ranked as extremely important. The people that are driving the process, the ones that you probably could have anticipated, IT, engineering, operations. What's starting to get a little bit interesting, though, is, for example, finance getting involved in hardware for data centers. This is probably relevant to the Singapore audience, I imagine, where you see the government here trying to create corporate conditions that will bring functions like this to Singapore. So finance, all of a sudden, becomes a key player. Now, when we're talking about functions that were ranked as either very important or important, it starts to get really interesting. We can see here, finance throughout is part of the process. The support functions have that voice in the decision-making cycle. Business development all of a sudden popping up. Even marketing and sales. Technology is impacting them more than ever, and they're becoming part of the process. What I think is also interesting is the external consultants having a larger role to play than ever before. So the point to leave you with here is you need to think about a broader range of audience when you're talking about tech product. And it goes for all of the different sub-verticals. There's not one that's easier to get away with than the others. It really has become a much broader committee of people involved in making this decision. So, to really quickly bring it all back to a summary now, what we've been able to do is understand in more depth than ever before the journey that people are going on, that decision-making cycle. We've been able to understand the people that are involved, what motivates them, what content they're looking for and where they're looking for it. We know the shortlist drivers, we know the buyer needs, we know how much content they want. We've been able to do this for each sub-vertical, each functional group. A lot of information, I'm sure you can understand that. So be on the lookout for the ebook that we're producing, which will get you right down into the depth of content. You can start to see a few more profiles like Amanda's.